classic from Berlin. Taylor said he'll box. When there's any opportunity, he'll jab right through. Really important to keep Abraham at the end of the jab. Big right hand missing by Taylor. You don't want to get too close to Arthur Abraham. A very hard puncher, extremely strong, better skills than a lot of people think. So tough physically and mentally. And remember, never lost, never down, and fighting at home.
Strategy-wise, Steve, it's very important. If Arthur Abraham's going to keep his peekaboo defense like that, the Taylor punch and land some jabs, punch through the gloves like he did with Winky Wright, score points, because if Abraham's going to let you score points, you have to put the rounds in the bank.
Taylor in the red, very athletic. He's got the fast hands, the height and reach, the experience. Not easy to outclass Taylor. Big question, can he get it done without burning himself out? Now Taylor with a left hook that's grabbed by the right glove of Abraham. Taylor can also fight. He won't back down. Terrific right hand. He dropped Carl Froch early, and Froch has a great chin. But can he hurt Abraham? The thing is, you don't want to get into big exchanges with Arthur Abraham. He's got to outwork King Arthur. Here's a combination followed by another heavy right by Abraham. Jab back by Taylor.
Wide shots from Abraham. Taylor did not respond well to that wide right hand.
Usually his left hook is wide when you can answer back with a straight right down the middle on the inside. We'll see if Taylor does that. Taylor has a habit of holding his left hand low. So you got to be cognizant of that. If you're Arthur Abraham, he can launch a right. Taylor going to the body.
And that's a good move, Steve, because if Abraham's going to hold his gloves by his head, the body is there to be hit.
Taylor's camp feels Abraham is protected here at home by the refs, particularly with body shots. They feel Abraham doesn't like body shots, and he does leave himself a little space there with that peekaboo defense. They think, the Taylor camp, that the refs will warn opponents for low blows when they're legal. A major bone of contention with Taylor's promoter, Lou DiBella. Taylor fights best when he's relaxed, Steve, and he seems to be pretty relaxed right here.
Well, he's using the ring well. He wants distance. He wants this to be an outside fight, and so far it has been.
So we head for the bell, round one. Good left hand there, near the bell by Jermain Taylor.
Keys to victory for Arthur Abraham: force the pace early, make Taylor work throughout the fight. It's the best way to get him fatigued. Use the jab. It's a legit weapon, and Abraham's shown it to be effective versus taller opponents. And bring his hands back, because Abraham's most vulnerable after he punches because he drops his hands. Keys for Jermain Taylor: stay off the ropes. If Taylor backs up, it's a sure sign that his legs are going. Lots of rights. In spots, Abraham will let Taylor punch. Taylor should take advantage and finish the work. Taylor dropped both Pavlik and Froch, didn't finish either, and lost both fights.
Zur zweiten Runde, Round 2.
Wide right hand by Abraham as his brother looks on. Doesn't like what he sees, but it wasn't in reaction to that right hand that landed flush.
His younger brother, Alex, a fine junior middleweight who's 25-0-1. Round 2. Jermain Taylor comes out jabbing. Crowd getting behind Arthur Abraham, whose unusual style is designed to wear you out, to make you expend energy. That guard up high. His version of the rope-a-dope.
And it's critical for Taylor to punch, even if he doesn't land, because Abraham's punch output is so slim, Steve, in these early rounds, that Taylor will win just by on volume and just by punching whether he lands or not.
Are you intrigued that nobody has figured out a way to outpoint Abraham?
I'm very intrigued because his fights haven't really even been close here in Germany.
He does bring a puzzling style. You don't know if he's going to lay back or brawl. And he can uncoil out of that defensive shield quickly and explosively. And it's not easy to get a decision here in Germany. with that in mind as Jermain Taylor goes for the body, but now Arthur Abraham claiming low blow. We discussed it. We talked about this before, and this a major concern of the Jermain Taylor camp. But that was a low blow.
Steven, the replay showed it all.
That was definitely a low blow. And he is being cautioned by the referee, Guadalupe Garcia.
This was an issue at the rules meeting, Steve. I attended it, and they had a long argument about what makes a low blow. Well, that was a low blow.
Well, if you saw the first Edison-Miranda fight, that was a familiar sight. So we resume.
Steve, it's interesting. Taylor's jabbing much more, but Abraham is really making his jabs count. Very accurate as a puncher with his jabs and his power shots both.
Abraham, a very smart fighter. He's so adaptable. There's the right-left combination. The left got through the guard of Taylor. There's that jab once again by Abraham. Yes, the jab very effective by Arthur Abraham. Taylor does have a very good jab. It's not just a probing range-finding jab, but an effective weapon. Good uppercut on the inside by Taylor. Another one followed by a left hook to the head. Abraham shaking his head as if to say it didn't hurt me, or he's upset with himself.
The referee signaled with his hands to Taylor, keep the punches up. Taylor doesn't want to back himself into a corner with too many warnings this early.
And just as he told us he would do, he is jabbing away at Arthur Abraham, and it is effective. Good part of the round for Taylor. Missed with that sweeping left hook. Back comes Abraham, but didn't bother Taylor. Those jabs being blocked by the gloves of Abraham. So hard to get through that defense. Here comes Abraham. Popping shots off Taylor's head. And he's claiming to Garcia those punches were in the back of the head and therefore illegal. And now he is saying that to Abraham. So roughhouse tactics here in the early going, Steve.
Well, you see it there. Abraham pouring it on. The fight starts as usual when Arthur Abraham says it starts. And that was 2 right hands to the back of the head, Steve. Very much so.
Ja, ist gut. Nein, weiß schon sehr gut. Immer konzentriert machen.
Just concentrate yourself. Concentrate yourself. Stay cool.
Alles klar, also musst du machen.
Okay, so you got to make the next round. The next round is for you. Got to make it.
The giant, Mr. Valuev, one of the heavyweight champions on hand here tonight. Round 3. Did you see Taylor winning the first 2?
I did. The second round was much closer. Abraham poured it on a little bit in the second half of that round, but I gave Taylor both, mostly on volume punching, Steve.
And Steve, it's not out of the ordinary for Abraham, who often fights at his own pace, to be down in the first 2-3 rounds, but he does have a way of taking over historically. We'll see how it unfolds tonight.
Abraham is fighting the kind of fight early, Steve, that it's pretty clear he's counting on the second half of the fight to pour it on and make Taylor fold.
And historically, particularly of late, that has been the big problem for Jermain Taylor, and Taylor knows it. We asked him about that in the fighter meeting yesterday, and he did say, yeah, he feels that Abraham's probably going to try to take this deep, try to wear him out, wear him down, make him tired, see if he runs out of gas, test his endurance. Hard body shots by Abraham. And then you go in for the late knockout if you're Arthur Abraham.
Nice move by Abraham, that combination punching, and then he took a step out and to the side. Taylor's counter punch missed by a mile.
And Arthur Abraham dangerous from start to finish, and when he has you in trouble, if he smells blood, that's when he really turns up the aggression. Again, Taylor using that jab to try to keep distance. But those punches are not effective. They're being blocked by Abraham's gloves, who's in that peekaboo style there. And again, all this makes you expend a lot of energy, and if you're Jermain Taylor, that's not what you want. He completely revamped his training. But you made a great point earlier saying, is it more physical or mental? And maybe we'll find that out tonight.
Just saw an interesting move there by Taylor. He stepped inside when Abraham punched. Abraham punches wide. You're safer when you're in close. Plus, Abraham isn't an infighter. He doesn't like fighting on the inside, surprisingly, given his lack of height.
Missing with a wild right, Arthur Abraham. Abraham only 5'9", but as we said earlier, oh, good right hand flipped the head of Jermain Taylor at 5'9". Abraham's got long arms. Again, the jab by Taylor pushing Abraham back. You want to try to push Abraham back to the ropes because when he's on the ropes, he usually doesn't punch. And that's when you can really outwork him. Heavy right hand there to the head by Abraham. He's scoring now in round 3. He's starting to come alive.
And every one of those right hands is from the side.
And now Jermain Taylor upset because the punches to the back of the head once again at the bell. Mikkel Kessler on hand. The WBA super middleweight champ will be fighting Andre Ward November 21st in Oakland in the Super 6.
Good job. You hit your side of the head, you hit the back. Don't take nothing. Get that crown. They want a clean fight, okay? Yes, sir. All right. Great. Hey, start going away from the right hand. Angle. Jermain, if you ever start thinking about drop that left hand, you hit the right. You got to go toward the right. Nice round. Nice round. Don't let him get too close. I seen you try to go for the side. You got to chop.
So Arthur Abraham, who may be in a 3-0 hole here, has to answer Jermain Taylor, who came out exploding from the blocks there to begin round 3. And he looks very determined now. He is really ticked off at Arthur Abraham for the shots behind the head. And he comes out fast here in round 3.
Well, tough rounds for the judges, 2 and 3, because Abraham punching less often, more effectively. Taylor more often, less effectively.
Beg your pardon, round 4. And again, a warning from Lupe Garcia for the low blow by Jermain Taylor. Abraham in no hurry, very deliberate. Going to the body with that punishing blow. They told him to use the right more in the corner, and he is. Jermain Taylor setting it up with the jab. The right hand block there.
Taylor can't get too happy. What I mean by that, Steve, is when he punches, he has to keep moving to the side. That'll take away Abraham's counterpunching.
The thing is, though, Steve, he's more of a flat-footed fighter who moves backward and forward. And there was an off-balance issue for Abraham. He's not really a side-to-side guy, but he's going to have to adapt here against Abraham. Developing into a very interesting fight here in the early going.
Not much of a first minute of this round 4 for Abraham. He's done almost nothing.
But again, he doesn't really concern himself that much about digging an early hole because, as you mentioned, rightly so before, he really turns it up in the second half of the fight.
Exactly. As I said when he fought my hero Oral on Showtime, the fight starts when Arthur Abraham says the fight starts.
He put Oral down in that tune-up 5 times. And Oral carried his left hand very low like Jermain Taylor. Of course, here Oral is not Jermain Taylor, but there is that similarity. We'll see if it becomes a factor. A chippy fight. And they do touch gloves.
Wilfred Sauerlendi, promoter of Arthur Abraham.
And part of this crowd of 14,000 enjoying the action.
Wenn da Lücken hat. Verstehst du? Lass ihn ruhig arbeiten. Immer hingehen, aber du musst wirklich mal aus dieser Doppeldeckung musst du mal einen Angriffsruhen machen. Und in der Mitte bleiben, nicht so weit
Stay in the middle, stay in the middle. Do some action, okay?
Bisschen stabiler, mein Junge.
Okay, just keep yourself stabilized, please.
Das schaffst du.
Okay, you can make it. You can make it.
Ja, aber
just trust yourself.
Stabiler. Du musst trotzdem Angriff ziehen. Die Runde kann wieder weg.
Okay, you need to do some action, okay?
Denk dran, ja?
Action from round 4. Is that another right hand to the behind the head by Abraham?
Our thanks to our translator, Alexander Stepatot, and our thanks to ARD Television here in Germany and all the terrific production people assisting us with the telecast tonight. Round 5.
Abraham, some swelling over the right eye. He's really not a bleeder. He has had swelling problems, but hasn't bled in too many fights.
You're talking about Abraham?
Yes.
With the exception of that first Miranda fight, but that was from the inside of the mouth when the blood was pouring out. His face was disfigured because his jaw was broken against Miranda, but the blood was coming from a laceration on the inside of the mouth.
Abraham's been very effective with that jab. Interesting to see if he starts using it more. But the punch that's landed repeatedly for him is the wide right hand. Hasn't thrown it much in the last couple of rounds.
Abraham able to elude the jabbing attempts of Jermain Taylor. Going to the body, then upstairs with the right hand. It pushed Abraham back momentarily, but now Abraham coming forward. Which sometimes is a signal that he's ready to get it on.
Well, he better soon. I think Taylor's putting some rounds in the bank, and he wants to tire Taylor out.
Does he try to lull you into a false sense of security and then do that?
Exactly. Let you think that he's easy to hit.
He is a very intelligent fighter, isn't he, Abraham?
And with a unique style.
Puzzling to many. Long right hand by Abraham. That's starting to find a home.
By far Abraham's most effective round.
And Taylor has to know right now, even though he was very effective in the first 4 rounds, that he is in there with a bull, a very strong man. Taylor coming forward for a brief second, but then he stepped back, and now they go at it on the inside.
Been totally an outside fight, Steve. Nothing resembling any infighting.
And that was surprising, a wild exchange. There's a straight right hand that pushes Taylor back. And that connected. That one missed. Best round by far for Arthur Abraham, round 5. Let's go to Nottingham, England.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Jim Gray in Nottingham, England, as we get ready for Durrell against Carl Froch. Carl joins us now. Carl, you said you felt that it was disrespectful and naive for Durrell to get here just 6 days in advance. Why did you say that?
I don't think 6 days is long enough to get the flight out of your system, the jet lag. I know he says it's on Californian time, but you know, you need to get the flight totally out of your system and give yourself at least 21 days, 3 weeks to acclimatise. But I don't know, he might know something I don't. It's not a massive advantage, but it's a little summit.
But you would probably be asleep at 2 a.m. and he would be getting ready to have dinner. Why is that an advantage?
It's nothing to do with getting to sleep and getting ready to have dinner. It's to do with a 10-hour flight. You know, it's a long, long way, and it's going to be dangerous for him.
All right, we look forward to the fight. Let's go back to Berlin and Steve Albert.
Welcome back to Berlin, Germany. Thank you very much, Gus Johnson. Where later tonight it'll be Froch versus Durrell from Nottingham, England, in the Super 6. Round 6 from Berlin. And wide left followed up by a straight right by Abraham, who has come on after a slow start, but that is nothing unusual for the Armenian.
Yeah, the logical script for this fight is being played out. Taylor early, Abraham comes on. Let's see how effective Abraham is when he comes on.
And Abraham a lot more aggressive than he was in the first few rounds. Starting to turn it on in the 5th round. And he's got that fire in his eyes.
And the best thing Taylor can do is if he thinks Abraham's about to punch, take a step at his man. All those punches will go around Taylor's head. Nothing will land.
The crowd chanting for Arthur Abraham in the white trunks. Good body shots by Arthur Abraham. Has to take it out of you. The accumulative effect. Now he pushes Jermain Taylor back with the jab, fires a right to the body. The jab by Taylor is weakening, and now again Abraham says low blow, and this could be a point.
Many times, many fouls. 1 point deduction. 1 point deduction. 1 point deduction. I want a clean fight, please. Okay.
Guadalupe Garcia deducting a point from Jermain Taylor for excessive low blows.
Well, we saw that coming in round 2 when there had already been 2 or 3 warnings. Critical, though, Steve, that Taylor does not decide to abandon the body. He's landed clean there. He hasn't landed clean upstairs.
And he's cautioned again by Garcia. You're right. Now, psychologically, he feels, hey, I can't go that way anymore. I'm going to get penalized. And it's a big point of his attack. So hard to get through that guard. Good right hand by Abraham. Back comes the jab of Taylor, pushing Abraham back. Abraham misses wildly with the left. Got him on the top of the head with the right.
I see a lot less oomph on Taylor's jab.
These hard punches to the body are starting to take their toll on Taylor. Abraham now playing around with Jermain Taylor as the bell sounds.
And here's action from round 6. You see it's low. Abraham keeps those elbows so low that if you don't want to hit the point of his elbow, you have to punch below that point, and that's going to be a low blow, and that was a low blow. And Abraham comes back with a right hand. Maybe Abraham's best round, but that was low, and given the warning, Steve, I don't have any argument with the point deduction.
Yep. Famed trainer Uli Wegner.
Du wirst sie jetzt haben. Aber mache was. Also hör auf mich. Das soll nicht nachlaufen.
Listen to me, okay? Listen to me. Listen to my voice.
Hier. 1, 2. Boom,
Okay,
boom, boom.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Ja, also.
Give him some punches, okay? Just a variety of punches. Do that.
I'm going to say those are the Scorpions.
And you are correct, sir.
Thank you.
Very good, Steve.
I know my Scorpions. Round 7. Scheduled for 12, the Super 6 World Boxing Classic underway from Berlin, Germany. Nottingham, England later with Froch Durrell. Abraham really coming on the last few rounds and beginning to have his way now with Jermain Taylor. Taylor's jab not having as much effect as it had in the first few rounds. Taylor losing a point for low blows, and everything's going Abraham's way right now.
Yeah, 10-8 round in the 6th for Arthur Abraham, and I have Taylor up 1 point after 6 rounds. I think Abraham will take that at this point.
And Taylor missing with a right uppercut attempt there. He is best when he mixes with uppercuts and hooks, but we're seeing predominantly the jab. And we're now getting to that point that's very interesting, Steve, in terms of Taylor's stamina issues. It's the start of the second half of the fight, where Taylor has begun to fade.
Well, you look for the signs. Against Froch, Taylor started walking backwards straight. That was a bad sign. So far in this fight, though, he's doing a very good job of keeping his hands up when Abraham punches.
Yeah, the telltale signs if he starts holding a lot and if his punch count drops. And Abraham knows that. So he's going to continue to pound away and then go back into his defensive posture. And the only thing really that's getting through from time to time is that pecking jab by Taylor, and it's not doing any damage. Oh, terrific body shots then upstairs by Abraham.
Just more ferocity when Abraham punches.
Punishing power, missing with the wide left hook. And they tie each other up.
Be careful. Watch your head.
Watch the head, says Garcia.
That's a warning for a kidney blow there.
Abraham going for the knockout punch there, but missed. He was looking to close the show with that right hand. Abraham patient, waiting for his moment, got a left hook in. That startled Taylor.
Taylor has to punch back when Abraham punches. That's when you can hit Abraham.
Well, the bell.
Couldn't hear it, the crowd was so loud.
When you put them earmuffs up, you got to step over and put that damn left hand down and throw the right hand. You got to do it. You can get him up out of here.
Relax. Don't worry about the knockout, Chief. It's boxing. Relax. Deep breath. All right. Read. He's turning it. Hook off the jab right hand, all right? Watch the right hand is going, because it's coming down the middle now.
I see it every time.
I know you see it. Keep your eyes on it.
But it's
still
close.
good. I see it every time.
All right, long you see it.
I see it.
All right. Come on now.
Do not pull out with your left hand. Whatever you do. Touch your kibbles both ways.
See what's go around. He still trying to he trying to steer around.
Action from the 7th. Again, Abraham snapping Taylor's head back. Look at that jab. He has really out-jabbed Taylor, who's probably thrown 3 times as many jabs in the fight.
Things getting urgent in that Taylor corner as we begin round 8. Taylor looking a little discouraged and perhaps realizing what everybody had been talking about with regard to the punching power of Arthur Abraham.
And Ozell Nelson, Taylor's trainer, wants him to move to the right, hold down Abraham's left glove, and fire that right hand. We haven't seen that many right hands from Taylor. It is his best punch by far.
It dropped Carl Froch early, even though Froch got off the canvas to win.
And it dropped Kelly Pavlik,
who got off the canvas to win. Abraham has never been down. 30-0. 24 by knockout.
Interesting. We've been looking for signs that Taylor might drop his gloves. It's Abraham who's boxing on the outside with his hands low at times.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Alter, komm, 1-2.
Abraham starts off with that looping left hook, tries to finish with the right, but those punches didn't land.
Abraham is so damn inconsistent with his offense, though, Steve. He never has long stretches where he's effective.
He is sporadic.
You know, he boxes the way football teams play. He's either on offense or he's on defense, but he doesn't do both at the same time.
Interesting analogy. That one got through, that jab by Taylor, but it's going to take a lot more than that to rock the chin of Arthur Abraham.
And the reason Taylor's jabs are coming in there is because Abraham's hands have been down,
which is unusual for him. Well, if good timing like that, I was just going to say, if Taylor can see that opening and fire that right, his money punch, who knows? Here comes Abraham on the attack.
Only effective punch in that entire flurry was Abraham's hook to the body.
And that's a punch he recently added to his arsenal. He used to be a one-punch guy, just the right hand. But that left hook is a freight train punch. Missing with the right, counter right by Taylor, fell short.
That's another round for Abraham. I have him up 76-75 after 8 rounds.
For more on the second half of our doubleheader, let's go back to Nottingham, England.
Jim Gray back in Nottingham, now with Andre Durrell. He will fight Carl Froch in about a half an hour from now. How are your nerves? Biggest fight of your career?
I'm pretty nervous, but more prepared than anything, so I'm ready to go.
Froch has said just recently and during the week, unprofessional for you to be here this late and naive. 6 days here in England, is that enough time, and are you adjusted?
Most definitely. I'm definitely ready. I'm setting my ways. I got adjusted real fast, but it seems to me he's looking for me to get tired. He's depending on me to get tired, and if that's the case, then he's in for a big shot.
All right, Andre, we look forward to the fight about 30 minutes from now.
Thanks a lot.
All right, with that, that's it from England for now. We'll be back in about 30 minutes. Let's go back to Berlin and rejoin Steve Albert.
All right, thanks very much. Gus Johnson, Al Bernstein, Antonio Tarver, Jim Gray standing by to call the Carl Froch-Andre Durrell fight coming up later tonight. It is round 9, scheduled for 12. Arthur Abraham having his way the last few rounds after Jermain Taylor got off to the good early start. But Abraham from time to time showing a little chink in the armor by keeping his hands down low. We'll see if Taylor can take advantage with the right hand.
Steve, when this Super 6 was announced, one of the things we liked about it, the balance in all 6 fighters. We're seeing a very competitive fight right here.
And it is the best against the best overall to determine the premier super middleweight in the world. Oh, what a right hand at Taylor. A right hand by Abraham, and Taylor's in trouble. Abraham's trying to close the show here in round 9. And Taylor holds on. Garcia breaks it up. Taylor trying to regain his composure. He was wobbled. A left to the neck now by Abraham.
If there were doubts in Taylor's mind coming in, they surfaced right here.
But Abraham steps back and for the moment lets him off the hook. Taylor was momentarily dazed. Abraham couldn't finish him off. Taylor has his legs back under him, and a right uppercut by Taylor on the inside.
And again, the inconsistency of Abraham's attack. When it would serve him best to pour it on, he doesn't.
Yeah, he really held back. That was a borderline shot. Left hook to the body. Here's the jab by Abraham, pushes Taylor back. Taylor, the smallest man in the tournament, or Abraham, the smallest man.
And Taylor's doing the right thing. The round is gone. He's not going to win the round. He's got to last the round. It's a 10-8 round for Abraham almost no matter what Taylor does from this point on, but he's doing a good job. He held when he had to hold. He still has his leg.
Another right hand by Abraham. He's missing wildly, though, with certain punches, Abraham, and we wonder if Taylor can take advantage with a counter.
And Abraham would get an extra point if he wins by knockout. Let's not forget the tournament rules.
2 points for a win, an additional point for a knockout, no points for a loss. Taylor's in no mood to shake Abraham's hand.
And here it is. It's a right, a straight right. We talked earlier about how Abraham was throwing wide rights. Taylor told his corner around to go, I see the straight right coming. He didn't see that because it was disguised by a jab. And Alexander Abraham loved it.
Which way? Don't go the same way, all right? Keep your hands up good. Use some feint. Your pull jab was working good, all right? Don't force the right hand. You see it, go ahead and drop it off. Try to come in and hit the ear a little bit every now and then.
And then, remember how he jumped in after you threw that right hand?
Yeah.
2-3. Drop the 2. Finish up with the hook.
Take a deep breath. Come on. Check this out. Come on.
Knowing the rules, Jermain Taylor wants to survive at any cost. He doesn't want to go down and lose an additional point. Round 10. These rounds suddenly are just flying by. For us, anyway. Maybe not Jermain Taylor right now.
You know, Steve, this fight has been fought at a pace and a distance that's favorable to Taylor. It's discouraging that he could be behind already at this juncture because the fight's going his way in so many different ways, but he's not being effective from rounds 5 or 6 on.
We haven't seen the right often enough from Jermain Taylor, his big punch. There's a sweeping left hook attempt, missing wildly by Abraham. He just throws that out there to see what sticks.
And at this point in the fight, yeah, Taylor's buying time by pumping that jab. He's not scoring enough points.
Okay.
So what you're saying, in essence, is abandon plan A and go to plan B.
Well, I like to see more right hands from Jermain Taylor. It's his money punch.
I think he wants to see it, too. He's just waiting for the moment. And Ozell Nelson said he wanted to see it more. His trainer, who's known him since the age of 12. Nice stiff jab there by Abraham. Return jab by Taylor, but Abraham's was tough. Abraham looks a little winded.
And a little red in the face. Yep. But he's the shorter fighter with the shorter reach, and his jab is the better jab.
And Abraham, again, he's got his hands up high now, but now they're back low again. He's confident. It's a slapping left hook, goes to the body, missing wildly with the right. An attack by Abraham. A flurry of punches. The right blocked by the gloves, but it pushed Taylor back. Abraham continues to pour on the pressure.
What's going to stop him is counter-punching, and Taylor hasn't done any of it.
And we wonder how much gas is left in Taylor's tank. Well, it seems okay.
And Steve, there's no sense of urgency from Abraham, and as these rounds mount and he keeps winning them, there's probably not a need for a sense of urgency. He senses that he's climbing ahead on the card if he hasn't climbed ahead already.
Does he want to make a statement in front of 14,000 hometown fans? Who knows what's going on in his head?
5,
Abraham driving Taylor back. That jab has been his best weapon.
So we are set for the championship rounds of the Super 6.
Now you see how smart Abraham is and why he's an accurate puncher. Taylor puts his gloves up. What does Abraham do? Punches around them. Suddenly goes wide with his shots. And Jermain Taylor is not as effective when he plays peekaboo as Arthur Abraham is, that's for sure.
Ringfrei zur 11. Runde. Round 11.
Abraham battered Taylor in that last round with a variety of punches. They're having a little problem with the trunk, so they're taping it up. Malcolm Garrett, the cut man, is doing his best to fix the problem. Round 11 from Berlin, Germany. Group stage 1, the first fight of the Super 6 World Boxing Classic. It's been a very difficult second half of the fight for American Jermain Taylor. Arthur Abraham, the adopted son here in Berlin, originally from Armenia. Oh, that looked like a low blow by Taylor.
And the referee was on the other side. He missed it entirely.
Abraham, a co-favorite with Mikkel Kessler to win the whole thing. And he's more than a 2-to-1 favorite to beat Taylor tonight.
We've talked a lot about Taylor fading, Steve. The irony now is that he can't worry about fading. He has to accelerate if he wants to win this fight.
As in knock out a guy who's never been down.
With a titanium chin, literally.
He has titanium steel and 22 screws implanted surgically into his chin. That coming after the bruising fight with Edison Moreno. So he does literally have a steel jaw. Nice right hand over the top by Jermain Taylor. Got the attention of Abraham. Abraham back into his peekaboo style, but coming forward.
Taylor has to keep firing that right hand, and he has to fire it hard.
There it is. Body attack by Abraham.
Steve, he's a stronger fighter. It's not anything more than that.
There's no question.
Yeah, when he punches, there's just more force on his shots, whether it's one shot or 4 shots.
And his boxing trunks are coming undone. In the front and the back.
More information than we need, you might say. Yeah.
Turning into an R-rated boxing match. Meanwhile, Arthur Abraham continues to march on, pushing Taylor back with the right off the head. Ripped trunks or not. Seconds left in the 11th. He continues to push Taylor back. Taylor frustrated.
And you can't counterpunch when you're moving backwards.
Time! Got to have it, baby. Gotta be smart, though. Can't get caught on no dumb shit. It's coming the last round. Don't sit there when they open up. Sit there.
Letzte Runde jetzt ab.
Boxst du vernünftig, sag ich dir. Guck rein. Ein Schwenk. Guck mal her, das wird
Ringfrei zur 12.
Komm her.
und letzten
Flugboxen.
Okay. You need to box the right way.
So 3 minutes left in this fight. They'll touch gloves. Can Jermain Taylor summon it up for a dramatic come-from-behind victory here against a guy who has never been on the canvas in his career? But Taylor also, who has to know he's behind on points, has to stay on his feet so as not to lose another point in the Super 6. So he's got to be careful not to get caught by Abraham. All Abraham has to do is play defense. He knows he's well ahead. But I don't see a sense of urgency here from Taylor.
Not at all. This looks like one of the first or second rounds of this fight where Abraham was content to just play peekaboo and Taylor poked away. Can't do any poking now.
He just can't get through that defense.
Well, the only way to really land flush against Abraham is to counterpunch, and Taylor hasn't been able to do it. He's been pushed back when Abraham attacks.
Abraham too strong. And there's a body shot by Abraham. Just keeps alternating from offense to defense. There's no fluidity, no rhythm, and that's also got to be tough on Jermain Taylor. You just never know what's coming.
And Steve, it's so tough to win on points on the road in Germany or in anywhere else. Less 70 title fights here. This isn't the title fight.
Here goes Abraham again. No answer from Taylor.
But the last 70 title fights here, the record of the visiting fighter.
Left hook by Abraham.
11-56-3. Only 2 fighters have won on points here.
Abraham's looking for that extra point with a knockout. 48 seconds to go in the fight. There's a heavy right to the head by Abraham.
It's looking like round 12 of the Froch fight a little bit to you.
Interesting.
Except Taylor's still coming forward against Froch. He was moving straight back the last minute of that round.
30 seconds to go. Taylor needs a knockout. Just short-circuited Jermain Taylor in the final seconds of the fight with a massive shot. And it happened so fast, Steve. Let's just really hope he's okay.
Okay, take it easy. The gloves. Thank you. Take it easy. Take it easy.
What a dramatic ending to this fight. Arthur Abraham ends it in emphatic fashion. Thank goodness Taylor's up. Seems to be okay. As Abraham salutes the crowd. Final seconds of the 12th round. A knockout for Arthur Abraham. Valuev and Kessler looking on, and maybe in his mind wondering down the road. Woo. That's pretty impressive, says Mickle. Do I really want to fight this guy?
And Steve, we were saying comparisons to the 12th round of the Froch fight for Jermain Taylor. A little scary that he ended up getting stopped almost the exact same time as he got stopped in the 12th round of the Froch fight.
Well, the fans get what they came to see. An Arthur Abraham knockout. to the absolute joy of his adoring fans here in Berlin. The start of what he hopes is a march towards supremacy in the super middleweight division. Able to clear the first hurdle by beating the biggest name in the Super 6. There it is. It was the right hand. A quick bullet right hand.
Set up by a wide left hook. And the right was right down the middle. Taylor's been keeping his gloves up, but that was between the gloves, right on the button. Jermain Taylor's eyes were closed before he hit the canvas. And maybe that's why it's so hard to counter Arthur Abraham. Taylor started using his right hand there. You see it in that last replay. And before he could counter with the right hand, Abraham zinged him with his own right, and that was the end of the fight.
And they told him in the corner before the 12th, don't get caught. He did. So 2 points for the win for Abraham, another point for the knockout, so 3 points all told.
And he's in first place.
Very good. No points for Taylor, who really needed this fight to get his career back on track. Falls to 28-4-1. Those 4 losses coming in his last 5 fights, and 3 by knockout.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that this fight ended with a sudden knockout like it did is very damaging to Jermain Taylor. If he had lost the decision where he fought okay the first half and faded the second half a little bit.
As the giant looks on, Valuev. Taylor is not eliminated. He continues on in the tournament. He'll fight Andre Ward. Abraham will next beat Andre Durrell. Here it is.
Taylor hit the ground hard. Abraham patient throughout. It's almost as if he sensed it would come. And it did with, 11 seconds left in the last round.
A pulsating right hand by Arthur Abraham.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, before we give the official time, a round of applause for this young man from Little Rock, Arkansas, USA, who came here to Berlin to show the world that he has more courage than anyone can imagine. Jermain Taylor. The end comes at 2 minutes, 54 seconds of round number 12. Now advancing in the Super 6 Super Middleweight World Boxing Classic. The winner by knockout, King Arthur
Arthur Abraham goes to 31-0 with 25 knockouts. We'll be back with more from Berlin later. Right now, let's go back to Nottingham, England, and Gus Johnson.
Arthur Abraham, I know Johannes will help us translate, but you want to answer the first question in English. What was your impression of the fight?